The wind howled across the desolate research outpost, its metallic structures barely visible through the swirling dust of Epsilon Kepler-7, a planet that seemed more like a punishment than a scientific assignment. Dr. Elena Rodriguez adjusted her environmental suit, her fingers tracing the holographic interface of her portable research terminal. Something was different about this place, something that defied every conventional understanding of human biological adaptation. Outpost Horizon had been established 7 years ago as a marginal research station, forgotten by most of humanity and ignored by the Galactic Confederation. The station's primary mission had been to study extreme planetary environments, but Elena had discovered something far more extraordinary. Her recent cellular research suggested that human biology was not just adapting to this harsh environment, it was fundamentally transforming. Dr. Ralick, the station's Centaurian chief researcher, approached her with visible skepticism. His crystalline exoskeleton refracted the dim light of the laboratory, creating a prismatic effect that always made Elena slightly uncomfortable. "Your preliminary findings are problematic," Ralick stated, his translator rendering his complex linguistic clicks into standard human speech. "Human cellular structures cannot possibly demonstrate the level of adaptive complexity you're suggesting." Elena pulled up a series of holographic projections, each showing detailed molecular maps of human cell samples collected from long-term residents of Outpost Horizon. The images told a story of remarkable transformation, cells that seemed to restructure themselves not just in response to environmental challenges, but in anticipation of them. "Look closer," she urged, her voice calm but filled with scientific excitement. "These cells aren't just surviving. They're evolving in real time, developing mechanisms that go beyond standard genetic adaptation." The most striking evidence was in the respiratory systems of the outpost's inhabitants. Humans who had lived here for more than 3 years showed cellular modifications that allowed for more efficient oxygen extraction from the planet's thin, dust-laden atmosphere. Their lung tissues had developed microscopic structural changes that increased surface area and oxygen absorption rates by nearly 40%. Ralick's skepticism was palpable. The Galactic Scientific Council will never accept such extraordinary claims without extraordinary proof. Elena knew she was treading on the edge of scientific discovery. Her research challenged fundamental assumptions about human biological limitations. Each cell sample told a story of unexpected potential, a narrative of human resilience that went far beyond traditional understanding. "This isn't just about survival," she explained, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "These cellular changes suggest an unprecedented level of adaptive intelligence. It's as if human cells are actively learning, predicting, and preparing for environmental challenges." The implications were profound. If her research was correct, humans possessed a level of biological adaptability that could revolutionize understanding of evolution, medical treatment, and interstellar colonization. But challenges were mounting. Limited resources, skeptical colleagues, and the inherent conservatism of the scientific establishment threatened to suppress her groundbreaking work. The outpost itself was a testament to human determination, a research station maintained by a small, dedicated team in one of the most inhospitable environments imaginable. As the dust storm outside intensified, Elena continued her meticulous analysis. Each data point was a piece of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that suggested humans were far more extraordinary than anyone had previously imagined. Little did she know that her discoveries were about to challenge everything the Galactic Confederation believed about human potential. The emergency klaxon shattered the routine of Outpost Horizon, its piercing wail cutting through the carefully maintained atmosphere of the research station. Captain Marcus Donovan's eyes snapped open, years of military training transforming lethargy into instant alertness. Something was very wrong. Outside the reinforced viewports, the dust storms of Epsilon Kepler-7 had given way to something far more menacing. A massive energy signature was approaching, alien in origin, and decidedly hostile. Preliminary scans indicate a Varaxian reconnaissance vessel, Dr. Elena Rodriguez called out, her fingers flying across the communication interface. The Voraxians were known throughout the galaxy as ruthless resource hunters, species that viewed other intelligent life as little more than potential fuel or raw material. Marcus grabbed his tactical systems interface, years of frontier defense experience flooding his consciousness. The outpost was designed for scientific research, not military engagement. Their defensive capabilities were minimal at best. "How long until they're in weapons range?" he asked, his voice a calm counterpoint to the rising tension. Elena's response was immediate. 17 minutes. But that's not the most concerning part. Their approach vector suggests they're not just passing through. They're specifically targeting our location. The implications were clear. Somehow, the Voraxians had detected something unique about Outpost Horizon, something worth investigating with aggressive intent. Dr. Rallick, the Centaurian researcher, moved with unexpected speed. "Our research," he muttered, his crystalline form reflecting the emergency lighting. "They must have intercepted our communication packets." Marcus knew they had limited options. The outpost's standard communication array wouldn't reach the nearest human support fleet for at least 6 hours. They were entirely on their own. "Prepare for potential evacuation," Marcus announced, moving between the research stations. "But we're not going down without a fight." What the Voraxians didn't know, what no alien species had yet comprehended, was the true nature of human adaptability. The research Elena had been conducting wasn't just academic. It was about to become their most powerful survival mechanism. The first energy weapon discharge struck the outpost's outer shield, sending a cascading vibration through the entire structure. Marcus could see the tactical readouts, their defenses were being systematically dismantled. "Shield integrity at 62%, Elena reported, her voice steady. "They're targeting our primary energy conduits." But humans had always been masters of improvisation. Marcus began rerouting power systems, creating redundant paths that would be impossible for a conventional military system to predict. Each adjustment was a testament to human ingenuity, finding solutions where others saw only limitations. Dr. Rallick watched in amazement as Marcus transformed the research station into an impromptu defensive position. "Your species constantly defies rational expectation," he murmured. The Voraxian vessel grew larger in the viewscreen, its predatory design a stark contrast to the utilitarian structure of the human outpost. Energy weapons charged, preparing for what seemed like an inevitable assault. But they hadn't counted on human determination. Elena's research took an unexpected turn. The cellular adaptations she'd been studying weren't just biological, they represented a fundamental approach to survival that transcended traditional understanding. The outpost systems began to respond, integrating defensive protocols in ways the Voraxian targeting systems couldn't anticipate. "They're trying to lock onto our primary power core," Marcus called out. Initiating adaptive interference pattern. What followed was less a battle and more a demonstration of human potential. The outpost systems began to shift, creating false energy signatures, redirecting weapon impacts, and presenting a defense that seemed to evolve in real time. The Voraxian vessel, expecting a straightforward assault, found itself confronted with an opponent that refused to follow expected combat protocols. Each of their weapon discharges was met with an adaptive response that seemed to learn and counter their tactics instantaneously. "Incredible," Dr. Rallick whispered. "They're not just defending. They're learning." As the engagement continued, it became clear that this was more than a battle. It was a statement, a declaration of human capability that would echo through the galaxy. The forgotten research station on the edge of known space was about to become something far more significant. A testament to human resilience, adaptability, and an unbreakable spirit of survival. The aftermath of the Voraxian encounter transformed Outpost Horizon from a marginal research station into the most critical scientific installation in human-explored space. Dr. Kira Nakamura arrived 3 weeks after the incident, her quantum biology expertise bringing a new dimension to Elena Rodriguez's groundbreaking research. "It's not just cellular adaptation," Kira explained, her holographic projections dancing with complex molecular structures. We're witnessing something closer to symbiotic evolution. The research team had gathered in the station's primary laboratory. Marcus Donovan stood at the periphery, his military background providing a protective presence. Dr. Ralick, the Centaurian researcher, had become an unexpected ally, his initial skepticism replaced by genuine scientific curiosity. Kira's latest analysis revealed something extraordinary. The human cells collected from the outpost's residents weren't simply adapting to their environment, they were creating a complex interactive network that anticipated and mitigated potential threats at a molecular level. Look here, she pointed to a particularly intricate holographic model. These cellular structures are developing what can only be described as predictive algorithms. They're not just responding to environmental challenges, they're strategically preparing for potential future scenarios. The implications were staggering. Human biology appeared to have developed a form of cellular intelligence that went far beyond traditional understanding of genetic adaptation. Each cell seemed to be part of a larger, interconnected system that could learn, predict, and preemptively modify itself. Elena Rodriguez examined the data, her excitement barely contained. The Voraxian attack wasn't just a military encounter, she realized. It was a catalyst that accelerated our understanding of human biological potential. Dr. Ralick's crystalline form shifted, reflecting his internal processing. Your species continues to defy every scientific model we've developed, he admitted. These cellular structures suggest a level of biological complexity that challenges fundamental assumptions about evolution and adaptation. Marcus understood the broader implications. This wasn't just a scientific discovery, it was a potential game-changer for human survival in the most challenging environments across the galaxy. The research took an unexpected turn when they began comparing the cellular samples from different team members. Each individual showed unique adaptive patterns, yet they all shared a core characteristic, an unprecedented ability to not just survive, but to fundamentally transform in response to environmental challenges. It's like each human is a living, breathing quantum computer, Kira explained. The cells don't just adapt, they anticipate, they calculate, they prepare. Their research attracted immediate attention from the Galactic Scientific Confederation. But this was more than just an academic pursuit. The discoveries made at Outpost Horizon suggested that humans possessed a biological flexibility that could revolutionize understanding of life itself. A transmission arrived from the Confederation's primary research council. They were skeptical, demanding more evidence. But the team knew they were on the verge of something monumental. We're not just studying adaptation, Elena said, her voice filled with conviction. We're uncovering the next stage of human evolution. Dr. Ralick added a critical observation. Your species has always been defined by its ability to transform, technologically, socially, biologically. This is simply the next frontier. As the research continued, it became clear that the encounter with the Voraxians was more than a random attack. It had been a crucible that revealed the true potential of human biological innovation. The forgotten research station on the edge of explored space was about to change everything humanity understood about its own potential. The symbiotic revelation was just beginning. 6 months after the Voraxian encounter, Outpost Horizon had become the most watched scientific installation in the known galaxy. The small research station that was once considered a forgotten outpost now stood at the center of a revolutionary understanding of human potential. Captain Marcus Donovan stood beside Dr. Elena Rodriguez and Dr. Kira Nakamura as they prepared to present their findings to the Galactic Scientific Confederation's Grand Council. The chamber was filled with representatives from dozens of advanced species, each viewing humanity with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. What we've discovered, Elena began, her holographic presentation revealing intricate cellular maps, is not just a biological anomaly. It's a fundamental reimagining of adaptive potential. The presentation unfolded like a symphony of scientific revelation. They showed how human cells demonstrated an unprecedented ability to not just react to environmental challenges, but to anticipate and proactively modify themselves. The cellular structures captured during the Varaxian encounter revealed a level of adaptive intelligence that defied previous scientific understanding. Dr. Ralick, now a crucial advocate for the research, provided critical context. Humans have always been defined by their ability to transform, he explained to the assembled council. What we're witnessing is the biological manifestation of that transformative spirit. The implications were profound. The research suggested that human biology was more than a passive system of survival, it was an active, intelligent network of adaptation that could potentially revolutionize understanding of life itself. Kira Nakamura presented the most startling finding. The cellular adaptations weren't just a response to external stimuli. They represented a form of predictive intelligence that could potentially be applied to medical treatments, environmental challenges, and interstellar colonization. Imagine a medical treatment that doesn't just fight a disease, she explained, but learns from it, anticipates its mutations, and develops counter-strategies in real time. The Grand Council was silent. Representatives from species that had existed for millennia found themselves confronted with a potentially revolutionary understanding of biological potential. Marcus understood the broader significance. This wasn't just a scientific discovery. It was a statement about human capability, a testament to the species' fundamental ability to adapt, overcome, and transform. As the presentation concluded, the chamber erupted in a cacophony of discussion. Some species saw threat, others saw opportunity. But no one could deny the profound implications of what had been discovered at Outpost Horizon. Dr. Elena Rodriguez looked out over the assembled representatives. We're not just talking about survival, she said, her voice cutting through the noise. We're talking about potential. The potential to adapt, to grow, to become something more. The final slide of their presentation showed a simple image. A human cell, its structure dynamic and shifting, representing endless possibility. Outside the council chamber, the universe seemed to pause. Something fundamental had changed. Humanity was no longer just another species struggling to survive. They were a force of adaptive potential, capable of transforming not just themselves, but potentially the understanding of life itself. Outpost Horizon had become more than a research station. It was a beacon of human potential, a testament to the extraordinary capacity for growth, adaptation, and endless possibility. The paradigm had shifted. And humanity was just beginning to understand its true potential.